The most important undersea systems don't move very much. Picture this: a contested waterway, strategic depth, critical choke point, the kind of place where submarines matter. A crewed submarine can patrol these waters for weeks, maybe 2 months if conditions allow. Then it rotates out. Crew fatigue, maintenance cycles, operational tempo. The replacement arrives days or weeks later. During that gap, presence disappears. Awareness drops. The adversary knows this. They plan around it. But what if something stayed behind? Not a submarine, not a sensor buoy, not a crewed platform at all. What if the Navy built a system that could wait on the seafloor for months, silent, autonomous, undetected, and wake up only when it needed to? That's not a concept anymore. It's operational. Undersea warfare is not about firepower. It's about persistence. The side that maintains continuous awareness of subsurface activity without being detected owns the decision space. They see first, they act first, they dictate tempo. Submarines are the most capable platform for this mission, but they have hard limits. Crew endurance is finite. Even on nuclear boats, human factors cap deployment length. Fatigue degrades performance. Morale declines. Safety margins shrink. Cost is prohibitive. A Virginia-class submarine costs over $3 billion. You cannot afford to lose one. You cannot afford to station one indefinitely in a single location just to monitor activity. Political risk is constant. A crewed submarine in contested waters is a flashpoint. If detected, it escalates. If threatened, it must respond. The presence of personnel changes the calculus. So the Navy has historically relied on fixed seabed sensors, hydrophone arrays, acoustic monitoring networks. These provide coverage, but they have a fatal flaw: predictability. Once an adversary maps your sensor grid, they route around it. They know where the gaps are. They know what you can and cannot see. The real problem is this: how do you maintain undersea awareness in strategic waters without keeping a crewed platform on station? How do you stay present without being there? The answer is a category of autonomous underwater vehicle the Navy calls an extra-large unmanned undersea vehicle. The Manta Ray program is the most visible example. This is not a drone in the conventional sense. It's infrastructure. Manta Ray is designed to deploy, operate autonomously for months, and require no human intervention during that time. It does not need constant communication. It does not need real-time control. It is not tethered to a support ship. It hibernates on the seafloor. Energy reserves in standby mode can last for extended periods. Publicly, the Navy has discussed months. When triggered by pre-programmed conditions or onboard sensors, it wakes. It repositions. It observes. Then it goes dormant again. This is not about speed or maneuverability. It's about endurance without presence. The system uses buoyancy control to rest on the bottom, minimizing energy expenditure. When active, it moves slowly and deliberately. Detection risk is managed through low acoustic signature and careful routing, not evasion. It carries modular payloads, sensors, communications relays, possibly other mission packages the Navy has not disclosed. The point is flexibility without reconfiguration. Most importantly, it operates independently. No satellite uplink, no constant data stream, no operator making real-time decisions from a console thousands of miles away. It is given a mission, a set of parameters, and decision trees. Then it executes. This represents a fundamental shift. The Navy is not controlling undersea space anymore. It is programming it. Consider a realistic scenario: a strategic strait, high traffic, mixed commercial and military activity. An adversary operates submarines through this corridor routinely, but transits are irregular. Timing is unpredictable. A crewed submarine cannot afford to sit and wait indefinitely. The operational cost is too high. The crew cannot sustain it. A fixed sensor array can monitor the corridor, but it is vulnerable. The adversary can map it, possibly disable it, or simply route around known placements. An autonomous system like Manta Ray changes this. You deploy it weeks in advance. It positions itself in the corridor, powered down, acoustically invisible. It listens. It waits. When subsurface activity crosses a threshold, specific acoustic signatures, movement patterns, environmental anomalies, it wakes. It records. It repositions slightly to refine data. Then it goes dormant again. It does not need to track the entire transit. It only needs to notice that something happened. Time, location, signature characteristics. That data is stored until the next communication window, possibly days later, when it surfaces briefly or transfers data to a passing platform. The adversary does not know it is there. They cannot route around what they cannot detect. They cannot destroy what they have not located. Now consider a second scenario. Subsurface infrastructure, undersea cables, pipelines, energy installations. These are critical nodes, but they are geographically distributed. You cannot station crewed assets at every potential sabotage point. An autonomous system can be pre-positioned near high-value infrastructure. Not to defend it directly, these platforms are not armed interceptors, but to observe. If an adversary approaches with intent to tamper or survey, the system detects the activity. It records. It repositions to maintain observation. It confirms that something is happening before anyone on the surface is aware. This is not deterrence through visible presence. It is deterrence through uncertainty. The adversary cannot be sure these systems are not already deployed. They cannot confirm absence, so they must assume presence. That assumption forces caution. It slows decision-making. It complicates operational planning. Third scenario, supporting crewed platforms. A submarine operating in contested waters faces a persistent problem. It cannot be everywhere. It must prioritize. If it investigates one contact, it sacrifices awareness of another area. An autonomous system, pre-deployed in adjacent sectors, extends that submarine's effective reach without adding crew or hull risk. It acts as a persistent sensor node. The submarine does not need to be present to know what is happening. It accesses the data when tactically relevant. This is not replacing the submarine. It is changing the environment the submarine operates in. The submarine becomes more effective because it is supported by a distributed, persistent, autonomous undersea network. Deterrence in undersea warfare is not about visible force. It is about perceived risk. An adversary plans operations based on what they believe is present. If they believe an area is unmonitored, they act freely. If they believe detection is possible, they move cautiously. If they believe detection is likely, they reconsider entirely. Autonomous systems like Manta Ray introduce structural uncertainty. You cannot confirm they are absent. You cannot locate them easily. You cannot predict their behavior based on crew rotation or deployment schedules. This forces the adversary into conservative assumptions. They must assume monitoring is occurring even when they see no evidence of it. They must assume data is being collected even if no platform is visibly present. That changes how they operate. Instead of exploiting gaps in coverage, they must assume there are no gaps. Instead of timing operations around submarine rotations, they must assume persistence. Instead of moving freely in unmonitored zones, they must treat all zones as potentially observed. This is strategic friction. It does not stop operations, but it slows them. It complicates them. It increases cost and risk. And critically, this does not require escalation. A crewed submarine in contested waters is a political signal. Its presence can provoke. Its detection can escalate. The decision to deploy it carries weight. An autonomous system, by contrast, is deniable, persistent, and non-threatening. It does not patrol aggressively. It does not challenge surface vessels. It does not carry weapons designed to sink ships. It simply observes. But that observation has strategic value. Because the adversary does not know what has been seen, they cannot know what has been compromised. They cannot know if their operations are still covert or if they are being tracked. That uncertainty is deterrence. The most effective undersea systems are not the ones that destroy. They are the ones that make the adversary hesitate. There are predictable critiques of systems like this. It's just a drone. No. Drones are remotely piloted. This is autonomous. The distinction matters. A drone depends on communication. It can be jammed, intercepted, or denied control. An autonomous system operates independently. It makes decisions based on onboard processing and predefined logic. It does not need constant connectivity. It can be destroyed. Yes, any platform can be destroyed. But destruction requires detection, and detection requires knowing where to look. An adversary cannot target what they have not located. Even if one system is found and neutralized, the operational loss is minimal. These are not multi-billion-dollar crude hulls. They are expendable assets designed for persistence, not survivability. It's not a submarine, correct. It is not meant to be. Submarines are multi-mission platforms. They carry torpedoes. They can strike land targets. They project power. Manta Ray does none of that. It is a sensor node, a communications relay, a persistent presence platform. Comparing it to a submarine misses the point entirely. The Navy did not build this to replace submarines. It built this to change the environment submarines operate in. It provides the persistent awareness that submarines cannot maintain alone. It fills the gaps that crewed platforms cannot cover. It forces adversaries to plan for a level of undersea monitoring they cannot confirm or predict. This is not about capability replacement. It is about capability expansion. The undersea battle space is no longer defined by platform count. It is defined by persistence, autonomy, and distributed awareness. Undersea warfare is not won by the fastest platform. It is won by the one that stays longer. The side that sees first, that knows first, that maintains awareness when the adversary believes they are unobserved, that side owns the decision space. For decades, that required crewed platforms, submarines, surface ships, human operators making real-time decisions. But human presence is a constraint. Crew endurance is finite. Deployment cycles are predictable. Political risk is unavoidable. Autonomous systems remove that constraint. They do not replace submarines. They extend them. They do not eliminate risk. They distribute it. They do not guarantee detection. They guarantee uncertainty. And in undersea warfare, uncertainty is a weapon. The adversary cannot plan around what they cannot predict. They cannot exploit gaps they cannot confirm. They cannot move freely in waters they cannot trust. The Navy has not built a new submarine. It has built a new kind of presence. One that does not need a crew. One that does not need orders. One that simply waits. The most powerful systems are not the ones you see. They are the ones already there when you arrive.